Welcome to Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, the place for you to break free from the norm and celebrate your life, because what we believe in our hearts becomes our reality. This is Magical Moments with Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments for that ease and betterment in your life. I'm your host, Alena Chapman. And don't you love to listen to things that bring you ease and betterment? And why not during this time of chaos and fear? I tell you. So I wanted to have a little magical nugget that was related to the show today. I tried to match up those magical nuggets, but this one is really on there. And when chaos and fear enter into our world, we tend to pull ourselves in. You know what I mean? We're not trusting the situation or the people, but we also sometimes lash out at the problem. Why does it have to be this way? I don't trust this. Why aren't they wearing a mask? Why are they wearing a mask? Whatever it may be. Okay. So we will lash out because we feel a lack of control. The other thing we also do, not everyone, but many of us, is that we start to act impulsively. We react instead of respond. And one of the ways we do that is, if we are single, we want to date. We don't want to go through this crisis by ourselves. We don't want to feel this way. We think somebody else is going to erase this feeling in us. We tend to go towards a relationship and try to gain someone to fix what we feel is wrong within us. And logically we all say, oh no, Alena, we don't do that. Well, but this isn't logical. This is not even in your conscious mind. This is in your subconscious mind. So today's show, instead of me giving you a remedy, this whole show and a little exercise to practice, we're going to do this whole show so that you can learn a little bit more about conscious dating during this time. And I'll give you a hint. It has a lot to do with you. Surprise, surprise. But I'm bringing on Angela N. Holton. Now, she is a dynamo, but she was just named by Yahoo as one of the top 10 relationship coaches in 2020. Yes, indeed. Now, isn't that cool? I'm very proud of her. It's very cool to have someone on here who really gets it. She's an international dating and relationship expert, speaking author, and founder of The Love Sanctuary. I love it. An online spiritual and personal development site centered on helping men and women create a life of love they desire from the inside out. I told you it had something to do with going in. She is the creator of the Conscious Date Method. It's a modern and revolutionary approach towards dating and relationships. And she's also the author of the Conscious Dating Method Workbook Journal, Deep Understanding of Yourself and Improve Your Relationships. I like that, Angela. She also teaches her methodology in her Conscious Dating Method workshop and dives even deeper into the lessons in her 8-week virtual course called The Conscious Dating Method. Become the one you want and attract the love you desire. Yes, indeed. With that, I am bringing on Angela N. Holton. Hello, my dear.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I am so happy to have you. And this is the most perfect topic for this time.
It is. It is. I'm so excited to talk and dive deeply into this conversation.
Oh, me too. Oh, my gosh. Hey, we're living in a weird time. I mean,
it is.
It's weird. It's just plain weird. So sometimes one of the things we want when we're going through this weird time, we start to feel lonely, especially when we're stuck in our house. That even makes it worse. But we start to feel like we want someone to fix the void in us. We want someone to celebrate this time with us. Bad choice of words there. Live through this time with us. We want someone with us in this time, but is that always a good thing?
Good question. So, if you're going to look for a relationship to fill the void during this time, you probably won't attract at the highest level, right? You're already attracting from a scarcity mindset that I'm lonely, I'm by myself, this doesn't feel good, this feels yucky, I just want someone to be here. And really, if you really create that inner relationship with yourself and that inner relationship with your divine goodness, your divine greatness, you're not really quite as lonely. You may want companionship and company and friendship, but you can find that on Zoom and other people. But I really caution people to just try to find a romantic partnership during this time, because if you're not really using true inner tools, you may not attract the right person. You may not attract the right relationship, chemistry, none of that. And you might end up going through a really painful breakup during this time also.
Oh, my
and that
gosh,
could happen either way, but you really want to choose cautiously, even during these times in the pandemic.
Well, let's go back to this scarcity thing. So here I go. I'm on that market. I am going to start looking, and I have this great need. I just want someone there. I'm so bored at home. I am so tired of this. I don't know. I don't have anyone to talk to. I feel lonely. I feel like I just need someone to hold me. So out I go. I go on the dating outline, the online dating thing, and because that's all I can do at this point. And I'm looking for that person. But when my mind is in that, you called it a scarcity, which is totally on track. Where are we in that scarcity? What is that scarcity exactly?
It means that you don't feel like you're enough by yourself, that you need someone else to. You mentioned voids in the first question.
Yes.
You need someone to feel that emptiness, that sadness. We're human, and we're hardwired for connection.
Yeah.
We're not hardwired for relationship. So while we may seek and desire to have that connection with someone, if we're not really skillful in the relationship arena, then we're not really seeking a relationship. We're just looking for someone to just be there. So we're not really building the foundation to start a good relationship. We're just looking for someone to fill a void. And if that's what you want, if someone wants that for a couple months and they're willing to take ownership for the consequences, if you attract really a unhealthy relationship, there's no judgment. But be really clear on what you want and what you're trying to attract. But if you're trying to attract a true relationship, a healthy, conscious relationship, really make sure you're not attracting from a scarcity mindset and that you just want to escape the loneliness that you're going through right now. We're human. It's understandable to feel the loneliness, but there's other ways to do it than to just fill your voids and fill your bed with someone else.
And there is something to that. If you're in this scarcity mode and you are filling this so-called void and you want someone to, so quote unquote, complete you, then you are on that track where you're just going. It's a vibration, guys. It's a vibration. It's like a radio station. If you turn into country western music, you're going to get country western music. If you turn on to the classical station, you're going to get classical music. You don't get classical music, most likely, on the country western station. It's just not what it is. So if you go on there just looking for someone who's fun, who can make your life exciting or more exciting than it is right now and can fill that void, and this person just gives you all the words that clings into your vibration of where you're at, you're going to grab hold of that because that's all you can see. Do you see? Because you're on that station. Your whole mind, your whole being is on that station. I need to fill this void. I want to have fun. I want someone to take care, to fill this void I feel during this time. Take care of my void. And that's all you're looking for. And the guy who's the perfect, or the girl that's the perfect person for you, later on, when you're not feeling that, is on another station. Do you get it? Yeah, and that's what it is. And you don't even see them because you're not there. Angela, what do you think about that?
I mean, I love the things that you said, when you say you just will grab onto it because it's the frequency in which you're showing up, and that's the frequency you're going to attract. Look, I'm encouraging dating, but it's dating consciously with a mindset of curiosity, lightness, self-awareness. What is it that you really want? But if you're anytime, pandemic or otherwise, if you are entering the dating pool from a place of, my cup's not full, I need someone to complete me. Let's just go back to everything you just said. You're going to attract someone. You're going to grab onto the first thing that fills that void of whatever it is that you're looking for in your life. And it's not really going to be something you've fulfilled for yourself. So I encourage men and women to really focus on what's missing in your life right now and how can you fulfill those things for yourself. Because when you complete that picture and fill your own cup up, again, you will attract from that frequency, and you'll match with someone who's also filling up their own cup and not just out there running with, with the scarcity mindset.
Exactly. And you're so right. You're right on. However, in this time, they're going to tell you right now, but this is how I'm feeling. So, Angela, when you are feeling, when they're feeling this way, okay, and these are the people out there right now. Everyone's desperate to find someone who doesn't have someone, it seems. So when you have someone like this who turns to you, how can we raise ourselves out of this station of I need? It's really funny. When I was first divorced, I met up with a so-called expert who said, well, you're going to have problems because you don't need anyone. And so I was driving down the road talking to my mother on the phone, and I swear, sometimes divinity will just enter into my mother and say something that would normally never come out of her mouth. This was one of the moments. And I said, Mom, what do you think of this comment? And she says, well, that's the whole thing. If you need someone, you'll settle for anybody.
That's right.
But if you are in a good place, then you'll settle for the right one. Interesting. So how do we get people from that need? I know, I tell you that divinity just comes in and says, hey, you need to say this. But right here, this is important because so many people are in need. How can we move out of need and to where we are in a place, because it really is us, that we are now looking for classical music, that person who's going to be the person for us, whether times are rough or good or, just every day.
No, I love the advice your mom gave you. I mean, what sage advice we get from our moms. One of the first questions that I ask anyone who comes to me during this time, during the pandemic, is, what was your relationship desire pre-COVID?
Nice.
What did you want then? And I think people need to get clear on whether they just want relationship and partnership now, or if that's really one of their goals and priorities right now. And that's important to differentiate, because if you're just looking for something, again, to fill that void, I'm going to help you prepare for that relationship. But if you just want to go out and date, sure, go swipe left, swipe right. But if you want to create a different relationship, it begins with starting to fill that void. And how do you start filling that void, that loneliness, is really cultivating that relationship with yourself. You said you want someone to listen to music with and go dancing with and do that. How can you create that fun, that adventure, that spice, whatever you're looking for in someone else, create it within yourself? Spend time with girlfriends. Go on social distancing dates with girlfriends and guy friends, whatever it is. Go out with friends. Get on Zoom, do virtual chats. They have a plethora of game apps that you can do virtually. Do those things. Journal, write, spend some time in meditation. Really, this is a powerful time to go inward.
Right? It is.
As much as people want to be in connection and partnership, we're human. I understand it. It's a really pivotal time to forge a relationship with yourself. Who am I? What do I want in life? What's my life purpose? Who do I want to be during this pandemic? And what do I want to leave behind? It's kind of like we're in this cocooning experience. And while we're cocooning, you don't want to come out of the cocoon the same. So what are we willing to shed and let go of? I'm not saying it has to be this huge metamorphosis, but what are you willing to let go of to create a better relationship with yourself so that you can attract a better relationship with someone else? Start there. Work on yourself. Spend time with yourself. Become your best companion, your best friend, if you haven't started in that place. And then, yes, I understand. We're human. We want connection. Find it in a safe place, not with the first thing that comes along.
When it does start with us. Of course it does. Everything starts with us because everything is from the inside out. So if we are feeling Yeah, if we don't feel good about ourselves and we go out there looking, that's a hard, tall order right there. We're not going to end up with somebody who is going to be good for us. We just aren't.
If we don't like ourselves, how do we expect someone else to like us?
Exactly.
That's the question. Am I lonely because I don't like my own company and I don't enjoy myself? And if we don't enjoy, truly authentically enjoy our own company, then how would someone else enjoy truly being with us? And then if you're looking for a long-term commitment, years and years and years of being with you, if you don't like your company, why would someone else?
And we have had a wonderful time to really learn whether we like ourselves or not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I hear from quite a few people who don't. Yeah. And they found it very hard to be by themselves. And it's funny, you can always tell the person who does like being with themselves because, I'm stuck in the house. Okay. No big deal. But the ones who really, all of a sudden, ripple effects and all this stuff starts happening in their life from the fact that they are not liking themselves. They're finding that out. So it really, I think we are very hard on ourselves. And I think it's time that we just say, no matter what, I'm okay where I'm at. I think when we go to improve ourselves, let me make this very clear. When we go to do anything, look for a relationship, work on ourselves, we have to come to terms with who we are right here and now.
Okay.
And when you do that and you say in these words, I know where I'm at right now, but I'm okay. I am okay. I'm a pretty cool person. I got a lot of good things. Got to work on a few things, but I got a lot of cool things. If you start from there, then you're not starting from such a desperate situation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think the three most important words that we can say to ourselves daily and routinely is, I am enough.
I am enough,
I'm enough.
And it doesn't matter where you are. No. What we always forget is that, my gosh, we're here. We're here to experience and grow. We're here to be who we are and learn every step as we go. Learn what we like and what we don't like. If we don't like it, then change it.
Yes, absolutely.
But we are enough. And I think, we try to grab hold of everything in life. I mean, as far as other people and want this perfect and the 2.5 children. What in the hell is 2.5 anyway? Really, I always used to think that. What is that? Half a child. That doesn't sound cool. So, I mean, the statistics, we try to live that life that is not so perfect. Let go of that. Accept who you are and then move forward to better yourself. That's all you do.
That's it.
And let's talk about the forgiveness wrap in this, because there is some forgiveness. If you just came out of a relationship that, you were betrayed, or there was a lot of distrust or lying or fighting or expectations that weren't met or things that really just ruined that relationship, and you're angry, then what happens? What happens in that next one, Angela?
Yeah, I just wanted to share, one of the things I love reading about forgiveness, and it's A Course in Miracles. Forgiveness is a function as a light in the world. It is your forgiveness that will bring the world of darkness to the light. It is your forgiveness that lets you recognize the light in which you see with the vision of Christ. So, it doesn't have to be religious. It's Christ consciousness. It's benevolence. It's love. It's kindness. And so if you're embarking on a relationship, a romantic partnership, forgiveness is the cornerstone of creating a conscious, healthy foundation. We are called to, as humans, to forgive daily, constantly. It's a practice of compassion. It's something we do for our entire lifetime, and it's what we do in all of our relationships. Think of how often you may just forgive, I don't know, maybe your producer. Is he listening right now?
Yes, he is.
If he showed up late or, anything. We're constantly being called to forgive, and we're constantly being called to forgive ourselves. You mentioned before just saying that, when we said, I am enough, and not accepting your life as the way it is, it's forgiving yourself for even having these negative thoughts and judgments toward ourselves, right? Because forgiveness is compassion, and compassion is love, and that expands our hearts to receive and give love. So if you are new to dating, you want to get out there and date, make sure you've spent time in the process of forgiveness, forgiving your past relationships, because if not, that anger and resentment that we're harboring towards someone else, not only does it keep us anchored in the past and anchored in that relationship, we can't fully show up and be present in a new loving relationship, like fully, wholeheartedly show up, because someone else has a piece of our love, a piece of our power. And if we want to be whole people, we have to forgive and take back these pieces of our heart from each place where we've deposited and left it behind. And then when you have your partner, this forgiveness practice is something you're really going to have to put into play every day. Forgiving your partner for leaving the toothbrush open, the clothes on the floor. I mean, those are the smaller things, but it's constant. It's a constant practice, and it really helps strengthen our capacity to truly love. I don't think we can love without forgiveness.
Well, we can't. Forgiveness, basically, guys, and it's straightforward. When you are not forgiving someone, then you just put a memory bank. That's how it has power over you. It goes into your subconscious mind, and then every time you meet someone, it raises its ugly head and compares to what is in your memory bank, in your subconscious mind. So basically what it does is alter your vision, because it's saying, does this person measure up? Is this person going to cheat on me? Is this person going to betray me? Is this person going to leave his toothbrush on the side of the sink? You know what I mean? You are going to have that in your subconscious mind. And every person that comes up, my gosh, they're not going to stand a chance. You're closing the door before you even open it.
It's true. If you're even able to open it.
You're even able to open it. Forgiveness is key. You really cannot move forward. And here's the big secret. This is the thing. We go through lessons. We met that person who betrayed us for a reason. We're always here to learn contrast, guys. And if you can let go, if you can really forgive and let go, then all of a sudden what will appear is a higher lesson. A higher lesson. Not, I'll never trust again. That is not a higher lesson. A higher lesson where you really understand the workings of relationships better. You understand yourself better. And this is the thing. You never have to go through that contrast again. That's the way it works.
It's true. You got to gain the lessons, right? Gain the teachings.
You got to gain the higher lessons, but you can't do that if you don't forgive.
No.
It's that simple.
Forgiveness is it's a beautiful practice. It's not easy. It's not saying we condone someone's behavior or say it's okay or we forget.
No.
It's about self-love and self-empowerment. We are ready to feel like whole people and attract greater lessons and higher levels of relationships and people in our lives, because we're not dealing with that anger, that resentment that keeps us anchored in something that happened a long time ago.
Yeah. So if we are something that happened a long time ago that's still coming to your door every time you meet someone, isn't that awful? Yeah. No matter where you go, who you meet, you compare by that experience. That's a horrible way to live. It's like a chain wrapped around your heart. You got to unlock that chain. You got to unlock it and let it go.
Wonderful analogy, because it's, you think of a chain and it's so weighted and so heavy.
It's really heavy.
Not forgiving someone is really like it weighs you down spiritually and physically. I mean, it could wreak havoc on the physical body. So forgiveness is...
isn't that the truth?
Yeah, isn't it? So.
Yes, and we had a show when we talked about how different emotions and sadness, I think, somebody correct me if you heard that show, it affects the liver. It actually affects an organ in your body when you hold on to all that weight, and also your joints.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has to manifest and show up somewhere in the physical body, right? Not just in the spiritual body. And in Chinese medicine, they have an organ related to each emotion.
It's fascinating. I find it
and I think the liver is anger.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, maybe the heart is love. Yeah.
Well, heart is love. Yeah.
Being aware of how are we storing our emotions in the physical body, because they can show up. So it's healing. Let's go to the root cause of it. and that's going to be on the spiritual body. What am I angry? Who am I angry with? And why am I struggling to forgive? And sometimes people like being bounded to the past. They like being connected to a painful experience. We're creatures of habit, and we can just be attached to a story that we're not willing to let go of, or we don't want to let go of.
We wear it as a badge.
Or being in victimhood. We want to hold on to that.
Or a victim. Look what happened to me. I survived, but look what happened, how awful this is. And you hold on to that. That's so damaging to yourself. So damaging.
No.
Yeah, it's time. It's good to feel empowered by that. And it's good to realize that it was wrong. And it's good to realize that you survived it. But now move on from it. You've got to move on from it. And that's going to help you to see things clearly in the future. What I want to do, if we're going to be taking a break here, but when we come back, we're going to start talking about the person who's done the work and is saying, okay, but what about me? How do I find a date in this? I've forgiven. I've done everything. So we're going to come back and we're going to start talking about practical ways to look online in a way that benefits you to start opening up to what do I truly want? That's going to be the fun segment. So now that we've forgiven, here we go. You're listening to Magical Moments, and we will be right back.
Welcome back. You're listening to Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find ease and betterment with every episode. Download more on your favorite podcast platform. Now, here's Alena.
Welcome back to Magical Moments. All right. So we're getting that ease and our betterment in our dating world during the coronavirus. Sounds really like something, doesn't it? So we talked about a lot of things. We talked about, not getting someone in there because you have a void, that you complete me thing that was so popular. And no one should complete you but you. But an asset to you, yeah, that's cool. And then what about that forgiveness thing? We talked about that, why it's needed, why you don't wear those past hurts and betrayals as a badge of honor. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the fun. Say we've done the work. Say we really like